Hello there everyone, and welcome to another easy English lesson with Kish. I just came back from my salsa dancing class and it was really fun. I had so much fun, but I'm totally exhausted now, and well, I wanted to talk to you more about hobbies. So let's look at some of the language you can use when discussing your hobbies with somebody. When telling somebody about your hobbies, you often say that you like doing it, or what you like doing. So I could say to you, I like salsa dancing. Notice that usually when you're saying something you like, you use a gerund afterwards because we're talking about an activity. Usually when we refer to an activity, it is a noun, so we make the verb into a noun by adding ing. So it looks like the present continuous tense, it sounds like the present continuous tense, but it's not the same thing. Okay, so don't confuse the two. So let me give you a few examples. Okay, I like dancing. I like playing the saxophone. I like running. Well, that one wasn't true. I'm very bad at running. Okay, actually I hate running. So when we talk about things we like or love or hate, we use a gerund afterwards. Okay, so I'd like you to tell me what you like doing. So, what do you like to do? And you can give your hobby. Okay, great. So, besides the gerund, there are some other things we can think about when talking about our hobbies or pastimes. We can think about the conversation we are having with the other person. So when the other person says, for example, I like salsa dancing, like you learned in the previous lessons on making conversation, you can say something like, oh, that's interesting, and ask another question. Asking another question lets the other person know that you are interested in hearing about them, and it lets the conversation flow more, and you'll be able to have a lot of conversation. Okay, so this is one of the topics that is good for conversation, especially when you are at a club or somewhere where you do your hobby. So for example, when I go to the club salsa dancing and I meet a new person, I ask them about salsa dancing, about the hobby. I say, how long have you been dancing? Or how long have you been salsa dancing? And they will usually tell me, I have been dancing for 2 years. Okay, so again, we are talking about experience, and when we talk about experience, we use the present perfect tense. Okay, it's very easy. So I'm going to tell you my hobby, okay, and I want you to ask me how long I have been doing that hobby. Okay, let's try. My hobby is playing football. So now you ask me how long I've been playing football for. Go ahead and ask. So you should have said, how long have you been playing football for? How long have you been playing football for? Okay, or how long have you played football for? They are both fine. present perfect or present perfect continuous, because we still do that sport. Okay. Unfortunately, I have never played football. I'm not very sporty, but I think it was a good example. Okay, so students, I'd like you to make a video of yourself telling me about your hobby and how long you have been doing that hobby for. Right, now, when you talk about a hobby, you can give details. For example, you might not know what salsa dancing is, so you could ask me, what is that? What do you do in salsa dancing? So you ask a question to get more information from me. The more questions you ask that elicit information, that means it takes information from me, the more conversation you can have. Okay. Now, a good example is to say, well, how do you do that? Or what equipment do you need for that? So, let's think about the second question. What equipment do you need for that? Or do you need any equipment for that? Maybe you asked me. So go ahead and ask me that question and I will answer. Well, for salsa dancing, you don't need a lot of equipment, but for the ladies, it is good to have a pair of shoes with a small heel. And I'll give you an example. So these are my salsa dancing shoes. As you can see, they have a little heel. So this part of the shoe is called the heel. Okay, and you don't want one too high, or else you may break a leg, and that would not be good while you're dancing. I mean, we have to look fabulous and everything. But anyway, so these are my shoes, and they shiny silver inside. I like that. And yes, I have very small feet. Don't laugh, please. Okay, so that is all you need for salsa. So now I want you to tell me, what would I need to buy, or what equipment would I need if I wanted to do your hobby? Are you still thinking? I don't know, I hope you answered that. So, anyway, I work a lot and I don't have a lot of time for hobbies. But I have a lot of time for pastimes because I generally have time where I'm trying to relax and not do something that I need a skill for. So, for example, I am learning Japanese and Portuguese, but for fun, I like to watch Japanese anime, and I think that it helps me to enjoy the language. Okay, anime is the specific name for Japanese cartoons. It is not the same as English animations. Those are different. Okay, so yes, I like to watch anime as a pastime. I watch a lot of anime, although I still do not understand a lot of Japanese. But it is fun to watch. So I told you that my pastime is watching anime. It could also be watching movies. So you could say, what kind of anime is your favorite? Or what kind of anime do you like? If the person you were speaking to said something about movies or music, you could say, what kind of movies do you like? Or what kind of music do you like? Okay, so then we can talk about it some more.